Hello, everyone. This is Chala, CEO and founder of the Repositioning Expert. I can show you my little tea time with Chala. I'm for the first time having tea. It's amazing. I usually have protein. Let me take a sip. These are like my little Turkish glasses, little tea glasses. Of course, there's not Turkish tea in it. That would be too strong. So welcome. I am very excited to talk about this topic because digital marketing, digital exhaustion is just, everywhere anyway, but digital marketing exhaustion is especially hitting not just consumers, but of course the B2B world. And when, I talk about digital marketing, of course, it's everything online, anything to do with reaching people through email, anything to do with direct messaging them on LinkedIn, anything to do with social media, and they are just bombarded, right? And it's not working as well. So here's a couple of stats to tell you, where it's at. 35% of US adults consider email the most irritating marketing channel when a brand is bombarding consumers with offers, okay, according to a recent research. That's not even the worst part. 81% of US consumers unsubscribe from brands that send too many messages, and 36% of brands and agencies consider managing reach and frequency, so how often and how many and where, across screens and channels, to be their greatest challenge, because they're still trying to figure out what's too much. And whatever they're doing is already too much, and everybody's doing it. So what is it that we have to do? How do we overcome this exhaustion? Because what happens during exhaustion is that the paradox of choice is people just stop choosing you. People just stop listening to you. People just stop hearing you. So you are having to pay more to be able to get less eyeballs and ears. And as you know, attention is a currency. And in fact, it's the most important and expensive currency right now, which is why companies are paying for influencers a lot more versus just plain advertising or just plain mail. So here are some of the ways that I found and that I've researched on how to overcome the digital marketing exhaustion. And it's not just one size fits all, and it's not just one bullet. That's the reason where it's going to all turn around and work for you. It's not the be all end all, but it's going to be a combination. Maybe it's going to be a trial and error of some of these, but try them. So in essence, the topic is really how to go away from digital and how to go back to basics, really. So some of these are gifts in the mail. Gifts in the mail, I've done for any client that signs up. We do gratitude gifts of, brownies, chocolates. I give in-person VIP clients some of these gifts in terms of just like chocolate. When I give corporate gifts, they have to be of a certain value, under a certain value. So chocolate is usually enough or is okay. It's not too high in value, and it's just enough to get their interest in. I've never seen anybody not like chocolate. Even if they don't eat it, somebody they know will eat it. So gifts in the mail. I've seen books sent in the mail. I've been sent when I was in corporate and I was purchasing services. I've been sent a lot of books, and it's like a nice to have, but depending on the target, it's not really a gift. It's more like an advertising for yourself, right? So some of the things that have really raised eyebrows when we've done with clients is it goes as crazy as a cutout of the CEO himself or herself, like a giant life-sized cutout, all the way to sending a very expensive $350 Cutco knife with the message, "Would you like to carve some time for us?" We've sent toasters to jam companies with fake bread that had messaging on it. We've sent, baseball gloves with a message inside, holding it. Everything that's relevant, breakthrough, we've actually done like in place, on the lawn, flamingos and lawn signs to get attention. So these are like gifts in the mail, right? You can definitely make them attractive. One of my clients is sending adult diapers because she's in the elder care business. So these are gifts to corporations. They are completely stand out. People love getting things in the mail, and it's not digital. So you're combating the digital exhaustion. Number two, really, really big, is the swing back into direct mail. So direct mail is actually something that's printed and that's solid, that actually goes in the snail mail. And it's come to direct mail automation. So what's happening is whatever action is triggered. So if somebody goes onto your website, if somebody actually makes a call of an inquiry, somebody does a search, or you can action it yourself where you actually meet people at a conference, you can action a direct mail automation where a series of cards or messages or actual mail, like letters, will go out. And that's a huge growing back again industry, because direct mail used to be like, I think, 1% return. And it was getting lower and lower and lower. It was very hard to keep clean lists where we didn't know where people were. People kept moving. Enormous amounts of money were lost by lost addresses and bounces. So all that is coming right back, and they're integrating it into AI-driven lead generation, which is not just automating emails, but it's actually automating snail mail. So keep that in mind. Number three, how to overcome digital marketing exhaustion, is the power of in-person. Can't say enough about this. I actually fly all the way from Canada, all across the country, just to have VIP strategy days with clients, even though most of our contract is on Zoom, because of the value it provides for them to have in-person interaction and in-person energy and education. So imagine the power of in-person networking, the power of in-person presentations, the power of in-person meetings. Power of in-person is, I think, the number one way to overcome digital marketing exhaustion, is that people are just more in tune with when you're in their face and you're saying something. Now, next one is the power of the phone. So remember what I was telling you is the whole topic really is about going back to basics. So the phone has, since it was invented, has been a really, really key way of getting in front of audiences. But now what we're finding is when we're trying to call clients, associations, organizations, their phone, like nobody's actually picking up the phone. So that was the biggest issue. But in essence, you can literally find the phone number, even cell phone numbers of every human being in the world online if you pay for it. So if you're strategic about who you're calling, how you're calling them, if you use the phone by getting referrals and getting actual numbers by getting to know them in person, or meeting them in person and getting to know them on the phone, these are some of the ways that we're using phone. It's no longer, spray and pray kind of like phone book, let's just go through the phone book and call kind of blind calling, but it's way more strategic, but it still works, because if it didn't, it would not exist. People wouldn't do it anymore if it wasn't effective. The power of introductions. When you make it a point to ask for introductions, and that's part of what we do when we start with a client, is they have to go out and they have to speak to 5 different high-level decision makers in 3 different industries. And how are they going to get them is through introductions. So we map out and mine the client's networks and networking opportunities for actual introductions. We script how they're going to be asked for. We script how the introduction will be made, whether it's verbal or on email. And we intentionally and strategically set up introductions. So that is a whole other way of overcoming digital marketing exhaustion, because again, it's back to basics. It's that word of mouth, but it's a planned word of mouth where you're actually actively driving it instead of just waiting for somebody to think of you to be able to refer you. But these are the power of introductions. And when you ask for introductions, make them intentional. What are you being introduced for? If you're being introduced to sell to them, you can forget about that. Unless they're in dire need and they're very unhappy with their current suppliers and they've heard of you, it's very unlikely that they're going to buy from you just from an introduction. What we ask for introductions for is just for informational interviews. Basically, just as a favor, we ask for a 15-minute conversation to verify and validate some of the pain points that we think this industry has that we want to message around. And so that's how we do the introductions. Number 6 on the list of how to overcome digital marketing exhaustion is cross referral programs. With one of our construction clients, we actually used a cross referral program, a referral program internally to refer new candidates to get more employees and of a certain kind, a certain quality, a certain level, and it's working. The cross referral can also be used with other like outside vendors, vendors who do the same thing within the same target market, but is a little bit different than you. So an example is if I'm a marketing coach and I'm helping companies figure out their messaging and their positioning, I'm very open to having a cross referral program where I pay them a percentage of my proceeds from a sale that they've introduced me to, and vice versa, to another marketing coach who works just on digital marketing or SEO, or maybe they teach, direct marketing or networking. Whatever it is, I'm a very, very unique specialist in positioning and messaging. So there's no overlap, okay, if they're just as unique and specialized. So one of the examples of a cross referral is I'm working with a talent agency who puts people on stages. So they're selling, they're like they're getting speaking engagements for thought leaders on association stages. Now they're a marketing company too, but they're marketing you a very distinct way than what I'm doing, which is I'm teaching you how to sell to corporations through using a differentiated through coming up with creating and finding a very differentiated niche. So that's why we're able to refer to each other, because we're different, but we still have the same goal and the same audience. Okay. Last one that I came up with was any association, organization, meeting, trade show, chapter event, conference, any in-person event that you can become a part of, you can present at, you can network with, you can become a member of, you can write for. If they have a podcast, you can guest or host on. These are the ways that you can connect with your audience, not through digital marketing, but through in person. Okay. So these are some of the ways that you can reach out and do outbound marketing, B2B, to corporate buyers. If you also know and your digital marketing ROIs are declining, and you also know that your target audience is not responding well. So try some of them. As I say, you can try all of them. You can try all, one at a time. You can try just one and you fall in love with it and you have, your ROI blows out of the water. Then you know what to do, but go back to traditional, go back to tried and true and see how that works. Let me take another sip before I tell you about what I'm doing tomorrow. So tomorrow I am doing a repeat, in case you haven't seen it, of how to wow pitches that wow corporate buyers. It's a 1-hour training, and it is again in conjunction with my friend who is running the PWT network, and she helps women, get empowered, become leaders. And her name is Dr. Carolina Billings. I've talked about her before. We're doing this masterclass tomorrow online at 1 p.m. Eastern. And if you're interested, just comment on this video and I will be happy to send you the link to register. And I'll see you tomorrow. And if you can't make it, or you've already seen that training, I will see you next Tuesday. Actually, I won't see you next Tuesday because I'll be on vacation. I'll be in Punta Cana. So it's just so busy that I forgot even that I'm going on vacation. So I will see you in 2 Tuesdays. And if you can't make it to that training, I will talk to you on another Tuesday Tea Time with Chala. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.